Hello, and welcome back to some more Hollow Knight, as we leave Deepnest with the tram pass, and start making our way to other locations. Hopefully, I am able to get these up a little more promptly. Fortunately, Trials of Mana have been a little more interesting than I thought it would be. I got kind of engrossed in it and I'm still engrossed in it, but I'm trying to get back to this. But I don't go up there just yet. Alright, so the tram itself is to the east. However, if we come up here, we can get another vessel fragment. And you just gotta do a little bit of pogoing to make it work. Technically, you don't even need the bug. But it's safer to use the bug. And then you just gotta pogo this guy. Try not to get hit right by these spikes, because you'll usually go into the spikes and take another mask of damage. So now, if I wanted to go back and buy in the vessel fragment from Sly, would be not a bad idea to get a full soul vessel, but there's actually one that's easier to get. Two, actually, given the route that we've chosen. So now, let's just make our way over. Don't do that. And then we can take the tram and leave Deepnest. And there we go. So, for the two soul vessels, one of them is in the crossroads that we need to go through the City of Tears, and the other is in the City of Tears on the way up to the Dream Nail. Usually you'd get the Dream Nail if you entered from, say, Crystal Peaks, but this way we're going to get it first and then get the Dream Nail. So now that I have access to the tram, not only could I go between the Resting Grounds and the Crossroads, but now I can get into the Ancient Basin, the east side of the City of Tears, pretty easily. I can also access a pale ore down here. So this is a pretty easy one to do, just 2 or 3 hits. As soon as it's going to dash, then you just dash away, let it swing, and go in. And if it spits, then you're going to just need to be able to do that. It's going to throw you off a little bit more. And over here we can find cloth. But as you can see, with the Shaman Stone, Vengeful Spirit will usually double hit. And that will let you kill them really easy. And that's why you want to dash away. Or at least be walking away a lot sooner. So rescuing Cloth here and talking to her means that she'll show up in Queen's Garden and also the Traitor Lord fight. That will mean that you'll have a different outcome for her in that fight. And if you don't, then she doesn't show up and she'll have a different outcome, eventually showing up in Dirtmouth if you talk to her after beating Traitor Lord. So to get the pale ore, you need to take care of 2 of these guys. If you get them on one side, 3 Vengeful Spirits without Shaman Stone, or as you can see, 2 with it is usually going to be enough to just take them down. Ah, there we go. Yeah, you can use the explosions to kill them too. Just be careful, because that one always kind of usually will trick me. Now the downside of taking this route is I don't have Desolate Dive, so I can't get through there just yet. So it means there's going to be some degree of backtracking when I come down to the Ancient Basin to get the Monarch wings. Now if I went up this way, I could get into the City of Tears by itself, but there's a few other things going this way, which leads to Kingdom's Edge and the Hive, that can be worthwhile to look at, and to show 1 or 2 things real quick. My cat might be mewing in the background. I have tried closing the door to see how well that keeps out the interruptions. I don't think it usually works very well, but we'll see how that goes. So, coming to the Hive this early is not advisable, just because there's a lot of bees, a lot of dangerous things in this area. So you normally need double jump to be able to get there, but all you need to do is just use one bee, and then there you go. You can enter the Hive. But it's better to come in with double jump. There is a mask shard you can get this early in there if you're willing to go through a good chunk of the Hive. You could get Hive blood, but coming in later, especially when you're doing the last leg of the Grim Troop, is advisable, just so that you can have an easier time getting some of the flames. You can skip that flame and get the 3 other flames, but I usually find that it's a little easier to just come in and get all of that at once from taking the Hive, since you're going to be coming into the Hive for full completion anyway. Usually I forget about the fungal core flame. So going up there, you'd need acid resistance, if I recall properly. You'd need acid resistance to get through a good chunk of the secrets in here. As well, another Desolate Dive area. But this way takes us out to the main room in Kingdom's Edge. And since that's a one-way entrance to the Hive, it's better to just open it up now. Aw, I can hear her in the background. Other folks probably can too. Oh. So Kingdom's Edge is usually most of the stuff, especially Primal Aspids and the little hopping guys. There's a lot of things that take a lot of damage to kill, at least with the old nail. So you've got your grub there. So to get in through there, it's actually a nice little... You never can open that door, so you just have to use that little secret path to get up there. I know the first time that I saw that, I was curious for a while, until I did a lot more exploration. But now, in Kingdom's... a City of Tears, one of the nicest zones, you can have access to a good number of things. Actually, wait a sec. I think it's this. Because there's another secret up here in terms of another relic. Easiest way is to just have double jump and be able to get up there quickly, but you can just dash off the wall and pogo your way up. So now we're going to get the Dream Nail. And there's another relic over here. The rest of the room just has a few geo chests here and there, which are certainly worthwhile to pick up if you need geo. I thought I was close enough, and yet I wasn't. So there's a little gauntlet up here. and has you a vessel fragment if you successfully complete it. It's good to come up here with full soul, just because there's quite a few enemies. Yeah, I'm playing a little bit bad there. But if you use your Vengeful Spirits properly, then you'll be able to clear all the stuff pretty quickly. And of course, if you come in here with Shade Soul or Descend in Dark, you should have no trouble whatsoever. So now that we have a full Soul Vessel, that helps a lot for storing more magic. The thing about Soul Vessels, however, is 1 or 2 generally going to be good for most playstyle stuff. The third one is certainly nice to get, but it's going to be pretty rare unless you just kind of do a nail build and you're storing Soul to heal. Then you're probably not, if you're using like a spell build, you're probably not going to be having it filled up all the time, or very often, really. So if I went left, I would get to Blue Lake, which would also take me to Salubra's Charm Shop, where you could shade skip over to get into the resting grounds pretty early. But now we get the event to get our Dream Nail. And now the real thing of the game begins, so that we can find the 3 Dreamers and open the Black Egg. So if you have Crystal Heart and can Super Dash, there's a few things to get through here a little bit faster. Otherwise it can be a little tedious to jump through here. I know that I've fallen a few times in trying to be overly hasty. But as soon as you get the Dream Nail, then the resting grounds more or less comes alive, so to speak. You can see that all the ghosts and everything. I can hear her in the background. I'm probably gonna have to pause and give her attention. But as well, the Dream Nail has so many other things that it can be used for. Using it in combat gives you soul. Without the Dream Wielder charm, however, it's a bit more difficult to do that unless the enemy's staggered. And with Whispering Roots, you could get soul essence if you really wanted. There's a number of Whispering Roots all over. You can get about 450, a little bit over that, if you find them all. And with Dream Shield, pretty easy to get it. It's definitely a very interesting charm. I'm not really fond of it, just because it's not all that useful for the 3-notch cost. Now, it would be a lot better. Again, other downside, Descend in Dark or Desolate Dive would be really useful to enter there. However, that's one of the flaws of coming through the Deepnest tram. Although I suppose if you also shade skip from Salubra, you run into that same problem. However, we can now start doing our first Warrior Dream. And Xero's pretty easy because you can just double hit him. Very easy. But it's an easy 100 Dream Essence. Which is why Whispering Roots are not all that great to be able to harvest, unless you're trying to harvest every little bit of Dream Essence, or if you're just a short ways from one of the Seer's costs, the thresholds for another prize. Plus, once you can warp with the Dream Gate, having a few bit of extra essence is always handy as well, although you still get plenty if you just kill the bosses. So now we go back into the City of Tears. Aw, poor guy. And at this point, if I really wanted to, I could go to Watcher Knights, which generally presumes that you have Monarch wings for double jump, but you don't need them. I'll show how you can get up there. But especially if it's your first time playing, going to the Soul Sanctum is probably your best bet. And if you don't feel confident with the Soul Sanctum, well, you can still go through City of Tears, get out of here, and then go on to someplace like Crystal Peaks. But there's still a number of things up here that are worth checking out. First is over in here, there's the Gorgeous Husk from this little secret. You go 1, 2, 3. As long as you do that, you can have a pretty easy time, as long as you don't mess it up like that. But it's worth a lot of Geo. It's like 420 Geo without Fragile Greed. No, it's the one beneath. And so here's another grub that we can get. These guys are very annoying, just because they have so much health, that if you're fighting them with the old nail, your best bet is to just use spells. Hit their shield, and you usually can get 1 or 2 strikes. Just make sure... Oh, I didn't expect to parry that. You can parry them, but it's very uncertain. Just always be careful, because after you do the first hit on them, they may move their shield quickly, catch you for the second hit, which will then trigger their block, and then they'll hit you if you're not careful. But they do take some time to take care of. Now, if I went up from the tram in the central area where I found the Pale Ore, I would have come out from that entrance. Alright, let's see if I can do this right. Apex of the jump, then pogo that, and there's a second one there that you can use as well. But if you pogo and then dash to the wall, you can make it up there without double jump. But if it's your first time playing, you definitely don't want to come up here too early. As Watcher Knights is probably one of those bosses where it's the most tedious one to do for your first try learning. Oh goodness, I did not want to knock her down. So kill that person real quick because really sucks if you have to have them throwing the javelins at you while you're trying to kill this guy. And if you have Descend in Dark, this is a great time to be using it. He usually only makes one swing up, so if you pogo him from the top, you're usually not going to have a chance to get more than one hit on either side. Although I think I probably will go ahead and do Watcher Knights. Since I'm here, I might as well get it taken care of. So the other thing is, once you either get double jump from the Ancient Basin or you beat a Dreamer, then the Crossroads will become infected. You'll have stronger enemies appear, the infection will also spread and cut off a few areas. It's really not that bad, but it can make certain things more tedious. Or rather annoying. And certain uninfected enemies from the Crossroads are a little harder to find for the Hunter's Journal. So we have another instance where we just gotta beat this guy so that we can get another grub. Because you want to try and make it to where you don't have to come back here. Yeah, see, he faked me out there. I didn't have any good fortune of parrying at that time. But since they also do double damage, you don't want them to be able to get off any extra hits beyond necessity, because you don't want to be losing a lot of health really early. Now for Watcher Knights, having a spell build, so Shaman Stone, preferably Spell Twister, with Shade Soul or Descend in Dark will let you win this fight really quick. And as well, you have a secret room where you can drop a Chandelier on one, kill one of them right away. So now I only have 5 to deal with, instead of that. So when they're bouncing or rolling, they're immune to they're immune to nail swings, but they're not immune to spells. And you have to face 6 of them, 5 if you did the Chandelier. Oh. Yeah, don't try not to have it to where they can do their roll and hit you. Oh. I always try to play a little more cautiously, because they're going to do things where you're just not going to be able to fully anticipate. And try to keep them on one side so that you can be able to hit them both with whatever spells, particularly Shade Soul, unless you're using Descend in Dark. So as soon as you've got one up, you can get an easy Mask of Healing every time both of them do a roll. You know, once they commit to one of them, you can easily heal. As long as they're not next to you like that. It's really the bounce that tends to mess you up because you don't always know as to how much they're intending to bounce. Like the roll, you can kind of, you know that you just need to jump over it. And if you're too close to them, they'll sometimes swing. Oh, it's already near the end. And if you kill them quickly, you can also dream nail the ones that are spawning in. Okay, that wasn't so bad. There's a lot better ways to kill them quickly. But I'm not very good at quick kills. However, you get good a bit of stuff for killing them. Yeah, that's... Yeah, 650 Geo and a Hallowness Seal is going to be able to buy a lot of things. And now just enjoy the view as you go up. Enjoy the wonderful view of the City of Tears through the telescope. It doesn't have anything, it's just flavor. Although I admit, the first time I looked through this, I expected some sort of jump scare. Kind of after doing, like, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, where you have the little secret enemy from the tram. He's got a little bit of unique dialogue. So you just dream nail them, and then you have a very, very complex boss fight. Lurien hitlist 4 is lava. Great video. So with one down, the other two will take a little bit longer to get to. Mostly as, with Hera, I could go do that since I have the lantern. I'm just not very fond of doing Deepnest until later. And if you wanted to find Lurien's secret diary, there you go. Oh, I'm still in the Watcher Knight room. I thought I had fallen down and forgotten about the elevator. So going down from the elevator, going left, this actually opens up a way into a good chunk of the Soul Sanctum. Towards the Soul Sanctum. On more the left side of the City of Tears. So if I go down, I can actually run into the Lemm so that I could sell relics and so forth. Oh, that's right. Once you've beaten one of the Dreamers, then they'll be out in the fountain, which also means that I miss out on the little Hornet cutscene that plays when you first go out to the memorial. since Lemm will be there instead.
Helmadelka.
They forgot a period there. But yeah, if you, that's one that I forgot to do. I should have opened that door. Because normally, you'd open the door from that side to connect the two areas of the City of Tears. If you have double jump, you can just jump up there and go over. But this is a little less convenient. However, now I can sell all my relics that I've been gathering for mad money.
War's son? Gian. Velmi Arcus.
Yep, time to just spam confirm.
War's son? Gian. Velmi Arcus. Velmi Arcus. Velmi Arcus.
And of course, since you can just hold on to the relics and sell them, it's one way to actually have some more geo in case you die and lose your money. But you really shouldn't. You should always make sure that you get your shade back so you don't lose your money. As otherwise it's going to be very unfortunate. You'll have to grind geo. You don't want to have to grind geo.
Velmi Arcus. Cacheo. Velmi Arcus. Velmi Arcus. Velmi Arcus.
But a lot of that is probably due to fragile greed. I don't usually expect to have over 6,000 geo at this point in the game. Oh, over 7,000 geo. And I've got some grubs that I could probably get a good bit, few hundred more geo if I really wanted. That said, there's another relic in this room at the very top. And the calm, relaxing music of City of Tears is probably one of the best points. Plus the ambience of rain falling from the lake above. So now that I have a pale ore, I can actually upgrade my nail twice, which will be a significant damage boost. There is the slight downside that Warrior Dreams gain a little bit more health, but it's really not anything serious. So it's definitely no reason to not upgrade your nail, unless you're going full spell build and just want to destroy them with spells. So the first time it's just 250 geo, the second time it's 800 geo with one pale ore. And then you need increasing amounts of pale ore to be able to get that upgrade.
Garadel Akari.
Now he's sharpened it to where it's no longer made of particle board, paper mache, and duct tape. This time he's put some stickers on it. The stickers increase max damage.
Garadel Akari.
Next time he'll do some wavy lines for 2 pale ore. And of course, if you put Fragile Strength on for 50% more damage, then it's even better. You're gonna be killing a lot more things in one hit, or 2 hits. Like that guard was 5 hits normally, but now it's 3. With Fragile Strength it might be 2. Okay, so it's 2 for those guys. The actual guard himself is just 3. Of course, if you just have Nail 1 from coming into the City of Tears immediately after after getting the Mantis Claw, you're still going to have plenty to be able to get through the Soul Sanctum and so forth. But if you're doing the Soul Sanctum, you definitely want to do that upgrade to make it a little easier to kill the little wizard guys. And if you use Fragile Strength with the first Nail upgrade, you're going to be doing the same damage, I believe, with what you're doing with Nail 2. So again, always upgrade your Nail, unless you're either doing a self-imposed challenge, or you're trying to, if you're doing like a speed run or something of the sort, or doing a Nail build, a spell build, so that you can make it easier to kill Warrior Dreams like super fast. So I didn't really need to open the door over here, since I came in through the Watcher Knights area, but it's still nice. So Rancid Eggs are only really relevant on normal. On Steel Soul they have a completely different function, but you really won't need it for that. But if you go to GG in Dirtmouth, which you need a simple key to get into his room in the first place, then you can give him one Rancid Egg if you've died and your shade is up, so that he'll teleport your shade to you, so that you can fight it and get it in the safety of Dirtmouth. Which is certainly useful if you die in an inconvenient spot. So yeah, the easy way to do it is just Vengeful Spirit. Aw, she's trying to get in. Alright, one moment, I am gonna pause. Alright, I'm back. I think that it started to actually rain out, and she wanted to hide under the bed, since it's raining somewhat hard. Which kind of fits with the City of Tears at the moment. It's like extra rain ambience, although I think now she's starting to come out of the bed. From under the bed. So with this bench, it's a great thing to get, especially opening this extra secret passage to this bench and the Soul Sanctum. And since I see that quite a bit of time has elapsed, I'm going to quickly do the Soul Sanctum, and then that's where I'm going to call it. So you're gonna have a bunch of these wizard guys up here. The good thing is they don't... If you line up your shots with Vengeful Spirit, then they're gonna die pretty fast, especially with Shaman Stone, because I think it's only 2, and sometimes you'll get lucky and double hit. Although I wouldn't assume that you will. So by going here, we have the first Soul Warrior boss. No, don't do that. When he dives, you can just do a Vengeful Spirit. But when he puts his arm back to try and do the charge shot, don't dash to him, because you'll go right into the way of it. But yeah, with Nail 2, they're not bad. Only 3 Nail hits. And if you have Nail 1 with Fragile Strength, that's still 3 hits. I think it's like 4 without Fragile Strength. At least I want to say that. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 5. So I believe it's 6 without it. Could be 7. So yeah, if you come in with good preparations, this place is not going to be that bad. But if you come in here with just base Vengeful Spirit, no Shaman Stone, and the Old Nail, you might find it a little rough. Coming up here, we're able to get... I think there's another guy over here. Okay. That's an easy way to do it. Just Vengeful Spirit everything. And so now we get another boss, which we're very, very overpowered for. The Soul Master, however, beating him will give you Desolate Dive, which will help you get past all the things with the fragile ground. Can also give you one way to get into Crystal Peaks, and it's a very powerful spell, especially if you upgrade it to Descend in Dark. Yeah. Okay, so when he dives, I don't have the means to get a free, easy hit. But yeah, every time he does his little fireball, he will you can get easy Vengeful Spirits. Alright, 1 second, cat aggro. Alright, let's see how this goes. She's currently right at my feet, so I don't know how long she's gonna stay quiet. That's a fun little thing to do because of the Godseeker's face following everywhere Soul Master teleports to. So I noticed he's invulnerable the first time, but you can otherwise be able to get hits on him as he's doing his dive. Of course, it's not exactly the hardest part of it. So, since I'm here, I might as well do Soul Tyrant. I'd point out that if it's your first time, you probably don't want to do Soul Tyrant with the stuff that I have at the moment. You can win, but you might find it a lot easier if you get more upgrades first. That way I never have to come back to the Soul Sanctum, except to get Shade Soul. So using the Dream Nail, you can access harder versions of the bosses for Dream Essence. In this case, I'd get 300 Dream Essence, and that'd get me another Pale Ore from the Seer. 1 out of 2. But now he's faster, he has more health. Let's try not to jump into the openings, because he likes to fake you out, especially with that. And you can heal pretty easily if you do it like there. I thought he was going to charge. You can also get him when he dives here, but I'm usually bad at trying to actually get the timing with it. Like, Soul Tyrant's one of those fights that I do pretty poorly, because, like, I could get several hits on him as he's moving across the screen, but I don't have the timing down as well. But the nice thing about this fight is it's super easy to recover, because every time he goes across the room with the fireballs, you have time to heal 1 to 2 masks each time. So it might be a long, drawn-out fight, but you can get through this pretty quick. You can get through without actually finding yourself in dire chances of dying. It's the second phase where you don't get the opportunity to heal. So you better know what you're doing. Plus, every time he does his little charge, you can get 2 hits pretty easy. So something simple as this still works. It might not be as well as it could be, but eventually you'll whittle him down. As well, whenever you stagger him, if you make a quick hit on him before his stagger, he just continues to start doing his little heavy breathing as part of the stagger. You can get 2 hits instead of having the stagger end with 1 hit. There we go. Oh, I actually missed it. Didn't get hit by that. He doesn't have much health in this one, but it can be... It's definitely one of those phases where you don't want to mess up. So playing cautiously, and for instance not trying to actually hit him during that, can be worthwhile if you're low on health. But you do get a moment or two to heal a mask or two before this phase starts, once you first drop down. So it's good to make use of that time. Have as much health as possible. And so now we can leave the Soul Sanctum. But first, treasure. Alright, so Hallownest Seal, that's actually, I think I got 2 or 3 more now that I can... And if you position just right, you should be able to destroy that. Yeah, like that. I think it's 1 leg has to be off the ledge. Like, the... I can't quite do it right. Like that. As long as 1 leg's out in the air, it should work. But it means you're going to need to use 2 dives to finish that last one. And now everything spawns. Now, granted, if you still have the old nail, then this is a little more troublesome to be, since things won't die in 1 hit. Whereas now, it's really not anything to be worried about because I can kill it all in 1 hit. So by breaking these, they're just quick ways to get out. Plus, it's fun to shatter glass by doing a really cool dive. Because I'm not really sure how much that void is actually like a solid form, but it means you don't really have to worry about broken glass. You might have no mind to think and no voice to cry suffering, but you certainly don't have any feet to worry about broken glass. And that's a good note to end on. As always, thank you for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and you have a wonderful night.